I'm Adam Rossen with the Rossen Law Firm, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about a false sex allegation during a kid's party. All right, so on this case, our client had a big party at his house, and he has small children. He had a party for his children's friends, and all of the moms and the dads and just the parents, are there. And he lives in a nice house out in Palm Beach County, and it was this big old party for hours. And the kids are playing, the adults are drinking, just having a good time. It's a Sunday afternoon party that kind of went a little bit into the night. And what happened during that party was my client was using the restroom, and one of his son's 5-year-old friends walked in on him, okay? And he just was, he's peeing in the bathroom. No big deal, right? Well, fast forward a few hours, and he gets a phone call from the kid's mom saying, I saw you, you were touching yourself in front of my child, you exposed yourself in front of my child, I'm going to the police and you're a bad guy and you're a disgusting, pervert, right? And my client's like, that never happened. He was shocked, couldn't believe what this woman was saying, and she was angry, she was visceral. And she starts telling everybody in their friend group, in their local community that he's a perv and he's a bad guy. And she's going to the police and she's going to have him arrested. So my client's freaking out about this. So at the time, my client hadn't hired an attorney yet, but he's scared, he's freaking out, he's nervous. And before you know it, a detective calls, a sex crime detective calls him. Now, he could have done a few different things. One, he could have just started talking to the sex crime detective and defending himself. But if he did that, he would have made certain admissions, right? So what most people don't understand is if they say, well, yes, he walked in on me and I was peeing, well, then at least we know part of what this kid said was true, right? And so the good thing was our client didn't say a word, his spidey senses went off, and then he decided to hire the Rossen Law Firm, and he hired us right away. So what did we do immediately? Well, number one, we reached out to the detective and we said, listen, you have to come through us, just everything goes through us. We are the shield. We are Captain America for our client. We are there protecting him. So speak to us, do not speak to my client. We also give the client an invocation of rights form. And what that does is it memorializes the attorney-client relationship on paper so that if any other detectives or this detective tries to surprise him, he could just give him the invocation of rights form, the piece of paper that says, I don't want to speak to you. Call my attorneys, call the Rossen Law Firm. And from that moment forward, we made sure that my client was not going to speak. Now, he had no problem talking. The truth was on his side. But one of the difficult things for people to do when the truth is on their side is to be quiet. And that's a strategic decision that we have to make. Now, with the client, ultimately, it's the client's decision with our advice, and counsel and discussion. And we go over a million different scenarios. But in this particular case, we said, listen, there's no need for you to talk. This is a 5-year-old kid, clearly misunderstood what he saw, and they have to prove certain things, that you were even there and that, he even saw you naked, right? So we decided to not say anything. And we had a big balance between pushing the detective to get this dismissed versus allowing the detective to at least, do some work, look at, investigate, speak to people, do his investigation and just really, let him work through that process. So we did a little bit of both. And after about 6 weeks, we finally were able to convince the detective that he didn't even have enough evidence to send this forward to the prosecutor's office. So our client was never arrested, never charged with the crime. There's no mugshot. It didn't even get to the level of going to the prosecutor's office. So that was a huge win for us and, more importantly, our client. I mean, it was a terrible situation that he was even in this position. I wish this never happened. I wish he never needed us. But that's the thing about, criminal law and criminal defense, especially with sex crimes, is when something like this happens, you need to hire the best attorneys immediately, because you can end up hurting yourself in this case, even if the truth is on your side. Okay. If you have any questions at all, feel free, give us a call, Rossen Law Firm, 754-206-6200.